think of tech trends, we often picture gadgets, apps, and data. But what if the next big trend is something deeply personal? Humanity. So in this fireside chat titled "The Next Big Tech Trend is Humanity," we explore a profound shift in the trajectory of innovation. As technology has raced ahead, it has often left humanity playing catch-up. But what if the future isn't about pushing machines further, but about bringing them closer to us, closer to what makes us human? So this session delves into the idea that the next frontier isn't about artificial intelligence outpacing us, but tech rediscovering empathy, ethics, and the essence of human life. So please welcome our speakers to the stage. We have Christian Kenzel. He is the CEO and founder of Amber Tech Solutions. Dr. Abir S. Al-Humaidi. He is the Vice Dean, founder, and CEO of King Saud University and Advanced Era. And Logan Formicola, the founder and CEO of Eagle Star Dynamics. Please give them a round of applause as they come up onto the stage.
Thank you very much for staying for this late hour in the day. I'm Abir Al-Humaidi. I came from Saudi Arabia. I'm a Vice Dean and Faculty of Software Engineering at King Saud University, and also the founder and the CEO of Advanced Era with 20 years of experience. I think it's time to move from the public sector to the private sector, and that's why I try to establish my company and start my own business with the government, this business dealing with the academia and also the advising in public sector. This is about me. So, Christian.
Hello to everyone. My name is Christian Kinzel. I'm from Austria, not Australia. We have no kangaroos there. So we have Mozart. Always the same joke. So a little bit of my history so that you know who I am. So I'm an engineer. So started over 20 years again as software developer. Last 10 years, 10 years ago, I founded Amber Tech Solutions. This year we go in a great race. We grow a lot. And yeah, my passion is to build software for people. And in the center, for the people in the center of the software and not the software around the people. So that's my passion. Logan. Maybe a software download?
Sure. Hello, my name is Logan Formicola. I'm actually based over in Atlanta, in the United States. My company is Eagle Star Dynamics. It focuses more so on drafting services, scientific services, professional services, and expanding in those categories. So this could be renewable energy, aviation, propulsion. So it's more of like a think tank-based approach. I also have a lot of interest in other categories as well. I've had a lot of interest in coming up with innovative and impactful solutions and ideas since I was pretty much a teenager. I was building computers and, got into overclocking and things like that, and just kind of expanded into the company itself. So anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Logan. So now it's working. Thank you for fixing the mic. So first thing I want to talk is helping other companies to get in the tech business or to use technology for them. And for this, I have a sample. So we as Amber Tech Solutions, we are not a huge company, but we help smaller companies to grow and to deal with the technology from today. For example, every year we invest 3 days, stay on a booth for a small company in Austria, one person. She's 20 years older than me, or 25. And we sell for them on the booth, on the Christmas market. So why we do that? Because these people don't have the knowledge to use technology in the right way. So we help them with their brand, we help them with their website, and for example, this year we enable them to pay with their phone, so they can use credit cards. And I'm very proud because with this move we can rise their earnings by 20% this year. So technology and humanity, it's very important to help other companies so they don't have the knowledge. So it's our responsibility from our side as young people, and I'm not that young, but young, to help them to grow. That's very important. And I think that's also, yeah, we are responsible for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yes, the technology can bring a lot for humanity. Rather than, like, for example, helping another companies, it's also helping people. Technology can be used and utilized to reach people. For example, the charity can reach people in need. For example, the United Nations, they developed an applications to try to reach to the people in need in different countries and to not overlook people. Also, they allowing people to register them as in need so they can give them the services. So I believe that the technology can help people who are trying to help to reach the people who is in need. So this is a crucial use for technology to improve the lives of the people, to improve how they work, not only how they work, also to reach them, because reaching the people in need, it's not easy, especially for the charities or the global charities like the United Nations, I mean. So I think this is a crucial need for the technology to improve the lives of the human. Do you agree?
Yeah, so expanding upon this and with integration, I think there's various devices that could be implemented. You think about AR, MR devices. I was actually just talking with a friend not too recently about AR devices for truckers. So there's small things like that where real-time feedback could actually enhance urban sustainability, lifestyle, economics. There's various different approaches to all of this, but I think that this type of technological approach is helpful and innovative. So I think that expanding our horizons and being very open-minded and reaching for the ideas that seem like they're a little bit too advanced is actually the best approach, because that's what drives the most competition. That's what puts a company ahead of other companies and leaves everybody else in a position to catch up with that company. So that's sort of my approach with it as far as integration and application.
Thank you, that's very interesting. So it drives me to my second topic. So I spoke already for the older people in our society, but on the other hand, we also have the younger people in our society. And you see, I'm talking in stories. It's one of my favorite use cases. So my daughter, she's 12, so I have a story for this. And 2 weeks ago, we found camera, an old digital camera from my side. It's from 2007, 5 years before she was born. And we charged the battery and she put it on. And we have to set the date because everything gets rid of. The energy supply was too long empty. And she tried to tap on the screen and nothing happened. And Dad, why nothing happened? That's not a touch screen. And she, what? That's not a touch screen. It can't be, or? And then I showed her how to use the keys to set the date and the time. And that's interesting because this is only one generation ahead, so one generation after me. So the jump of technology is so high in such a short time that we have to think about how can we get more interaction between our generation, the next generation technology, and how to set one level for this. Because when I think that's only one generation, where will it end? Yeah? Same, my kids came to me and say, hey Dad, I learned more from TikTok in English than in school, and they go to a good school. So we also have the recommendation to think about the school system and so on. So, and this is also everything matched together with technology. And I think when we go now in the age of AI, it's also, it speeds up very fast. So we have to decide, should we speed up or should we settle down and think about what are the next steps so that we can do the right steps in technology and also for humanity. That's very important. It's like you drive with a Ferrari in the inner city, but you have to think about how fast can you drive this cool new Ferrari. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I second you really, Christian, because my son is 19, not only 12, and he considered me old. I consider myself as an expert in emerging technology, and he considered me old because I'm not using Siri. He thinks that anybody who not using the assistant in his phone, he's just an old, and he is not really good with the technology. So I think, yes, we should work in the gap between the two generations. I think the huge gap between generations become bigger and bigger. Even if there is no difference a lot between us and our kids, there's a huge culture gap between us. So I think your point is valid in that point.
Yeah, so when it comes to generational technology, we see significant changes. In the past, it started with basically just Facebook, and then we saw Instagram, we saw various other apps come into the fruition. So when you look at this side of the spectrum, I think that just having an open mind and having an innovative approach to technologies that are coming out is always a good baseline approach. Of course, when it comes to kids, it's very different too, because the technologies are designed differently than they are for us. They're designed to be more user-friendly. They're designed to be a bit more interactive on some different levels versus standard levels that we're used to. So that type of application is always different. So it's important to bear that in mind, I think, as well.
Yes, so we heard about the split of the technology and the generations, and yes, I think so too. The split gets wider and wider by technology. So we have to merge them down, that the gap is not that big, because otherwise we are the old people and have no idea from technology, and the young people run away with the technology, but we have to control or to governance the technology in the future, because they miss the past of the technology. So every one of us know the old computers, I don't know, IBM 368 and like this, so we have a good base and we know where it came from. But this is a part our kids or the next generation is missing. And it's important for us to transport this knowledge to this generation, that they know where is the base of all of this. What do you think about?
Yeah, I think you are right. If I can give an example, like in Saudi Arabia, during the pandemic, because the majority of the people, they are under 30, so adapting the technology was faster. So I think, yes, the gap between the generation is very huge. However, I'm relying on the new generation in adapting and accelerating the digital transformation. However, we should be following them in like innovating new ideas and try to reaching them in their language and not enforcing them like to come to us with our beliefs and with our method. And I think we should be open for them so we can use the technology that they recommend and the innovation that they bring to the humanity from their side.
Yes, I see it absolutely as you. That's a good way. We should show them the way, but no regulations. So I think that's a good idea, because based on the technology, they have more and other ideas. So the mindset is growing, and they have a complete different view on things. Logan, what do you think about this?
I think that's important to be more open-minded and forward-thinking when it comes to integrations, like for kids. Still talking about, I think, right? So coming up with concepts that engage the mind, coming up with user functions that actually teach and produce a learning advantage is important, because that's what gives a cutting-edge approach. That's what gives more of a learning, I should say, more a learning advantage. I think that's really important to have as part of the platform. So.
If you allow me to bring you to the use of technology in humanity, I mentioned it in the first time, and I would like us to elaborate on that if you are okay with that. So, for example, not only the charity, I think the government, they can leverage and utilize the new technology to reach the people who underrepresented by in the society. For example, the people, unbanked people, the people without any official documentation. I think using the technology to reach to these people, it's very, very important. Like, for example, blockchain has been utilized in some countries to reach unbanked people. And because I don't know if you know that 47% of people in the developing country are unbanked. Which is really a scaring percentage if you want the truth. We will not say that they cannot save their money. You may say that they don't have money. However, if we can talk about they would like to take loans, they would like to improve their lives, they deserve to have better services. It's not their fault that they have been born for a poor family or something like that. I think that the technology should be utilized to improve the life of a human. What do you think, Chris?
Yes, that's a good point. So blockchain is the first tool or technology in the web for being the truth of a source, so the source of a truth. So yes, we should use technologies like blockchain to bring services to people in humanity on an easy way. So I'm from Austria, I know how hard it is to open a bank account, how many signings you have to do for only one bank account, and for such people you have to do it on an easy and fast and smooth way, because they don't have the knowledge, and also sometimes it's not the knowledge, it's the technical depth they can't give to help them to reach a bank account or a loan or whatever. So make it easy, make it fast, so that people can get also the services like anyone else. And I think that's an absolutely must-have in the future, that people can go for such services. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I think there's also other fields like biomedical devices and other categories that are important to expand upon as far as providing services to people. Oftentimes these types of devices are very private health-based and very difficult to get to in terms of actually improving someone's health. So I think that expanding the availability of such devices would be a very helpful approach, and that would be my take on it.
I think it's worth to mention that in the classification of technology, we had a classification of technology called the humanity application, which include the identity application, the health application, also the education application, anything who's related to the human lives and improving human lives, it's considered as in the category of a humanity. So one, I think, crucial used for a humanity is identification of the identification of humans representing, because I think one of your basic rights to be represented, to have the services reached you, in which way, in which service, education, health, any service, either government or private sector, it should reach you. And I think the technology will help to have these services and bring it to the people in need for that services. I think you already worked in the humanity application part in your company.
Not in our company, but I was before in the how's it called? Education part of Austria. So I was responsible for programming a certain type of software for generating charts for the education. And yeah, absolutely. So I think there should be an easy way to go to your identity card on a technical way. So we have the same in Austria. It's really hard to get. It's called ID Austria to authenticate on all systems. And there should be a smooth and easy way for everyone. So that's also combined humanity and technology. It should be easy and not that hard. And yeah, also for education, I think it's a big boost if you can use it. We have seen it in the pandemic in Austria. So a normal Austria worker goes every day to their work, 5 days a week, maybe 6. On pandemic, nobody goes to work, and the productivity grows up. And also we made a big jump in technology, so the mindset for smoother applications, integrated with humanity, chats, collaborating systems and so on, did a huge step, and this was one of our boosts in Europe. And we should go forward with them. So not only connect Europe, so let's connect the world to such easy applications and systems and make them smooth for everyone.
What do you think, Claude, if you elaborate on that?
On which topic?
The humanity applications.
Humanity applications. With technology, I think it's important to realize that there's various categories. You've got biomedical, you have sustainability, you have economic, you have renewable energy. So I think expanding the technological approach of these different categories, it helps to expand humanity's reach. It helps, and also space. Let's talk about space. I mean, that's something we don't think about very much because there's so many conflicts going on around the world. So hopefully at some point we have more focus on space technologies that are actually innovative and impactful in the sense of putting humanity's mind more so on space travel rather than just conflicts on this world. So I think that that's an important aspect to focus on. So that would be my take on it.
Yeah, if you allow me to give an example, if the audience would like to do, to have some examples, like for example, in Saudi Arabia, you represented as a citizen if you have an official document, and we have a lot of people who crossing the border without illegal. Considering Saudi as the Islamic heart or another thing, like for example, as from the perspective of the economy or something like this. So we found that a sector in Saudi Arabia who it's not represented, and we cannot deliver any services for this sector because they cannot put their kids in the school, they cannot go to the hospitals, and the area that they were in, not that the good way to represent the areas where people can live. So what one charity did, without mentioning the names, that they asked these people, come to us. Let us help you. Let us try to make you legal inside Saudi Arabia. And how they do that? By using technology. So they promoted an application, and they said, if you would like help and you are not legally present in Saudi Arabia, just send us a link and we will come to you. Send us a bin and we will come to you. And we will try to help you not only to be legally presented in Saudi Arabia, but also to have at least your kids to the school. Because in Saudi Arabia, even if you stay in the country illegally, your kids can go to the school. So you cannot take this service from the kids, or this right from the kids, delivering this technology. And I found this example very touching because it reached a huge sector in Saudi Arabia, which is more than 3 millions. Can you imagine the 3 millions who just cross the border to Saudi Arabia and they cannot access the services because they are not legally presented? However, using the technology, it has been decreased, and we could reach to these people, and we can deliver and fix their situation. This is the first thing, and give the rights, the basic rights for their kids to reach the health sector, the health services, educational services. If you would like to elaborate on that, Kristen or Lai?
Yes. So the idea for humanity that you use technology, I think it's also more fair than any other system, because so you can give for everyone the same services, and you don't have the problem that some people or some organizations get doubled the services and someone doesn't get any service. So we have a better overview how you use your resources from your government for the people. And I think that's a really big thing, because then everyone gets more. So, and then also the people can use it to grow and to become a citizen, or send kids to school, or use their healthcare system. So from my side, I think it's very important to have it's a chance for the government to have a big view how they serve the services to the people in the country. And yeah, I think it's a big thing. And up on this, everything is going faster. I have no idea how fast is government in other countries, but in Austria it's not that fast. So if you need anything, you have to wait a long time, because we have a lot of paperwork. So you need, it's like in Asterix. Don't know if you noticed the house who makes the people crazy. Yeah, you need 20 contracts for one thing. And yeah, so if your organization or your state or your country can work smoother with the data they have, so the whole government structure is lean, and therefore it goes faster and cheaper, and you can use this money to help the people in the country.
Yeah, I think that there should be a more technological approach. Like government-wise, when it comes to travel, for instance, there's so many pieces of paper you have to hold on to, right? When we've come to the point now where it should all be integrated through technology, the whole way through, like just slipstream that way. So I think that having more of a technological approach through all of these services would be more helpful. So it's just a completely digital experience rather than a hybrid approach of paperwork and technology. It can oftentimes lead to things getting lost or in such situations. So that would be my take on that. Just adding a bit more of a technological integration, full-on digital, and of course we're heading in that trajectory, so it's just a matter of time.
Thank you. I think this topic is touching all of us. So I would like really the audience to engage with us. What do you think? Let us exchange our views in that topic. If you would like, anyone? Give us your views. How you think the technology can reach humanity? What do you think? Have you experienced anything in that way? No one, cheer up. Like no one talking. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Like now I feel technology is an integral part of humanity. Like I have in last 10 years, I have never visited bank. So it has eased out my life where I can spend more time with my family instead of standing in queue in bank or anywhere, like reservation, air ticket booking. Like we used to struggle for getting air tickets. I had to go to airport or agent. Now we are sitting at least I can do right now also my air ticket booking. So technology is most important thing, become most important thing in any humanity. Or like it helps in the day-to-day life, like if I have to take that, like what Madam expressed for kids admission, we used to stand in line. For taking that just a form, application form. Now I can fill, or anyone can fill online application form and get time slot where we have to go and present ourselves in school. Don't have to stand. So it's I feel it is a positive as well as if I go in negative side, that a lot of frauds are happening and losing money. A lot of guys, if they are not aware of how technology can be misused and impact human life. So that's from my side.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. I think the first point, we missed it in our conversation, how the technology will improve the life of the human. As you said, you have time now with your kids. This is a crucial important, even not with helping the people in need, it's helping ourselves. This is part of our humanity, to help ourselves, using the technology to help ourselves. You would like to elaborate on that?
Yes, I think that's a great idea. And if you talk to us, I thought about the check-in on the airports. So today, every check-in is on the phone, in the app. And before, you have to go to the airport 3 hours before you left a plane dispatcher. And yeah, it saved a lot of time. But on the other hand, I think, and it's an example from my side, we talked about technology and humanity, how can help this, but there's also a little bit of dark side in it. So when I think about if the meeting session starts, we're at Corona, and you forget to make a 5 minutes appointment that you can go to the toilet, you're banned for 8 hours on your PC. So this is also, we should keep an eye on it, not only to make things faster, so make it more humanable. So it's a little bit of a compromise of both words, and we don't should forget what is valuable for us and what not. And work-life balance is for me one of the best examples. So it's the same like me. Before pandemic, I go to work, drive with my car every day 1.5 hours. Now I can play with my kids 1.5 hours or cook together or something else. So I think that's also a great step in the right direction. What do you think about?
Topic again, please. I'm sorry.
How technology improves our lives.
How technology improves our lives. So that's a really that's a big approach, I should say. So we come to cell phones, which basically the apps and how they continually evolve. So there's always new solutions, there's always new ideas and integrations for apps and how these connect to wearable devices. So like Bluetooth devices, that's a constant evolving factor, from smartwatches to wearables like earpieces, AR, VR. So that's a continually evolving field. I think that we'll begin to see more evolvement in those areas, especially with devices that can detect different vitals. And I think that would, like for AR, for instance, having that actually displayed in a way that doesn't get in the way of anything else that you're doing. So we're beginning to see more development in these areas. So that would be my take on it.
So let us make it an interactive conversation. Can anyone share with us how the technology during the pandemic helped them improve their lives? How the technology helped the people during the nature crisis, like the pandemic and COVID-19, and let them reach the services? Or if you have any incidents or like an example in your mind, how the technology during COVID-19 helped people in need. Anyone would like to share with us their experience during the COVID? Yes, please. Can we have the...
Hi, this is Praveen.
Hello.
So during a pandemic, before the pandemic, India has been, having the UPI setup everywhere, and many of the rural areas were having the UPI. So during the pandemic, you know that there is no touch, keep safe distance. And every time any of the shops, if you go, you will have to buy the things and then you have to use the money. So while using the cash, we were everywhere using a UPI, whether it's a grocery, vegetables, or any kind of a breads, any small thing for a single penny. There was a functionality of UPI which help us to have the contactless transactions, and it avoids the major crisis in India.
Actually, you are right. I think the technology, yes, improve our life, help us survive in the pandemic. You are absolutely right. What do you think, Chris?
Yes. As I mentioned before, the jump of the technology in the pandemic was like a rocket to the moon in Europe, and we should think about it for the future, so that when we go in a similar situation, and I hope we really don't do that again, how can we use technology to improve our lives in such situations? Where are we in emergency mode? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your input.
Yeah, so during the pandemic, we saw like a massive change, like Discord. People were using Discord to communicate with video and chat functions. So I think that approach was a big change. We saw a big improvement, like in remote, meetings and things and such. So that was an expansion of technology and functionalities. So I think that, of course, it's important to have in-person meetings. It's important to have like a human connection. But at the same time, there is also an advantage to the expansion of technological approaches and how those can be integrated in a way that benefits both, let's say, business and friendship type roles. So.
I think one also crucial point that technology during the pandemic helped us reach with other family. So, like for example, keeping the human connection, the technology helped us in the pandemic to reach that. I think we are out of the time. Thank you very much. I really would like to thank the people who engaged with us in the conversation. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Rula, for sharing the stage with us. Thank you very much. And if you would have like a final word to say.
Yes, thank you. It was a pleasure to me with you two guys on the podium. Thank you very much for the audience, also for the interaction.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are here for questions, so the next 2 days. So don't be shy. I am not shy, so come over to me.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone's time. This has been a very interesting topic and a very interesting conversation. Thank you.